Airport workers open this unmarked box and find something shocking. When a mysterious package turns up at an airport, usually trouble isn't too far behind. That's why airport officials call in the experts to handle those crates with care. Any number of nasty surprises might be hiding within them. Take, for example, these boxes. Employees at 2 separate international airports picked up a small, unmarked crate as part of routine safety inspections. They didn't find narcotics or bombs, however, but what they did find set off an insane chain of reactions that no one expected. In March of 2017, employees at Beirut-Rafic Hariri International Airport intercepted a small, improperly marked wooden crate. The package was destined for war-torn Syria with no sender listed. Something was suspicious. To the horror of airport employees, 3 Siberian tiger cubs had been stuffed inside the crate. In the extremely confined box, they were unable to even stand up. Surprisingly, their situation was worse than it looked. The tigers were starved, dehydrated, and covered in maggots. Bodily fluids coated the walls and floor of the tiny crate. The craziest part? Thanks to animal trafficking laws designed to give zoos more access to tigers, it was all legal. As investigators found, employees at a zoo in Ukraine shipped the tigers to Samer al-Husseinawi Zoo in Damascus as part of a shady deal. Customs allowed the shipping of the tigers and other exotic animals. But luckily, bureaucracy held the tigers up at the Beirut airport. The box hadn't been labeled with "this side up" arrows. With time to act, the animal rescue group Animals Lebanon (AL) petitioned a local judge for permission to open the box. After the tigers spent 7 days at the airport, Lebanese officials ordered the cubs to be released to Animals Lebanon because of significant concerns for their health and welfare. AL rejoiced, but had a lot of work to do. Specialized veterinarians examined the cubs and found their paw pads were raw and red from being covered in urine, as were their back legs and thighs, AL noted. The AL team cleansed, vaccinated, and disinfected the now free cubs. With the tigers clean and on the mend, AL released them into quarantine area where they could stretch their legs. The cubs scarfed down some meat and even had some fun. But then the cubs' owner returned. Those tigers were each worth thousands of dollars, and the buyer didn't want to lose out on the money he spent or the money he could make. He wanted his tigers. Fortunately, the charity wasn't ready to roll over. Siberian tigers are protected under the Convention on International Trade of Endangered Species, AL wrote on Facebook. They can only be traded under very specific circumstances and only when a number of other conditions are met. That little crate the cubs had been stuffed in, it didn't meet those required conditions. So AL felt they had a solid case to win the tigers for good. They just had to wade through bureaucracy and keep the tigers happy in the meanwhile. The Minister of Agriculture, Judge of Urgent Matters and Customs have all made the right decisions, AL wrote. Now they need to prevent them from becoming part of the multi-billion-dollar wildlife trafficking industry. For 4 months, AL engaged in a bitter legal battle for the cubs. On June 7th, authorities allowed the tigers to be resettled permanently in France. So on a Monday evening, AL loaded May, Antoine, and Tanya into large crates. The tigers arrived at the Tonga Terre d'Aquil Sanctuary near Lyon on a special cargo plane. There, they could finally enjoy their lives, free from the animal trafficking world that harms so many animals. Their story, however, was not so unique. That multi-billion-dollar industry is the engine for similar animal suffering for years. In March of 2018, for instance, officials at the Tijuana International Airport in Mexico encountered a situation that was all too familiar. There, on-duty canines sniffed out an unmarked box, also poked full of holes. Officers seized it and found wood shavings, plus 2 extra surprises. Looking up at officers were a jaguar and tiger cub, both scared, starving, and exhausted. Both are endangered species due to illegal hunting for the acquisition of their skin, Policía Federal de Mexico said on Facebook. Similar to the cubs in Beirut, these cubs had no marked destination or clear sender. Authorities speculated that the cubs were being sent to either a zoo or a circus. But another group offered another possible end destination. Prashant Chechen, Chief Executive Officer for Born Free USA, an animal advocacy nonprofit, suggested animals smuggled through Mexico were often sold as pets. So what could be done about this little duo? While most animal lovers would hope the two cute cubs end up at a sanctuary, the situation was not so simple to solve. What ultimately became of the cubs is, at the moment, unknown. In the US, we don't prohibit big cat transportation overall, Prescience said. It's hard for me to judge that this market exists when the government enables people to do it as a business. Unfortunate indeed. Luckily, within the sinister world of animal trading, organizations like Animals Lebanon fight for defenseless cubs. And nowadays, with all the odds stacked up against tigers, it's more necessary than ever for them to have allies.
Animal lover? Subscribe to our channel for all the latest in pet care and animal rescue. You can also visit our store, where you'll find cheeky merch for cats and dog lovers, including fun and original t-shirt designs and many other accessories you will love. Our earnings will help support and rescue animals in need and make a difference in their welfare. For more information, visit www.pausfashion.store. Thank you for being a part of our growing community and for caring about animals and their lives, especially at a time where they need you the most.